Today we're starting Unit 4, and we're going to be doing multiplication and division of fractions. Today's lesson is called Modeling Fraction Multiplication. I want you to pause the video to do a couple of things. Write your title down on the top of your page and in your table of contents. I also want you to glue down your Unit 4 TEKS and take a look to see if you can figure out what TEKS it is that we're working with today. Okay, as you probably saw, we are working with TEKS 5.3i. So make sure you write that at the top of your page. In the TEK, it stated that we'll be multiplying a unit fraction by a whole number. A unit fraction is a fraction that describes one part of the whole. For example, 1/2, 1/3, 1/18, even 1/100th. A unit fraction always has a numerator of 1, so 1 unit. Okay, you're going to need fraction strips for the next couple of exercises, so get them out quietly. All right, we're going to model some multiplication with the fraction strips. 1/6 times 5. We know that multiplication means groups of, and it looks like we need 5 groups of 1/6. So we're going to take out 1/6 and we're going to take out 5 of them. Okay, and our answer is what we have all together. 1/6 times 5 is 5/6. Okay, let's do another one. Clear your strips. 3 times 1/4. So that means we have 3 groups of 1/4 in each group. So how many is that altogether? 3/4. All right, now we're going to model some with eggs. So we're still not really writing anything down. In just a little bit you'll be writing and drawing, but let's just take a look at this one. Suppose Brandon has 6 eggs. He needs 2/3 of the eggs to make an omelet. How many eggs does he need? So we need 2/3 of the eggs. This word right here where we have a fraction and the word of coming right after a fraction is very important when we're multiplying fractions and looking at word problems. So let's take a look. We have 6 eggs. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to divide the whole into the number of equal groups. So this is our whole. These 6 eggs are our whole. And we need 2/3 of the eggs. Well, our fraction tells us how many how the eggs are divided, and it looks like they're divided into 3 groups. So we need 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make the groups even. So we're going to take all the eggs until we don't have any left. All right, so we have 1/3 of the eggs, 1/3 of the eggs, and 1/3 of the eggs. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to multiply the number in each group, which is 2, by the number of groups needed. Well, we go back up here to our fraction, and we need 2 of those groups. So 2 eggs in 2 groups. 2 times 2 is 4. So we need 4 eggs. So 2/3 of 6 equals 4. The word of here means multiply, and we'll see that as we go on. Okay, now you're going to need your journal and your pencil, and you can even grab one marker if you want to. Let's read our word problem. Elijah is making pumpkin pies. Each pie requires 2/3 cup of sugar. If she makes 8 pies, how much sugar will she use? So let's think about what we need here. We need 2/3 a cup of sugar. That makes 1 pie, and we are making 8 pies. So it looks like we need 2/3 a cup of sugar 8 times. That's a multiplication problem. 2/3, 8 times. So we need 8 groups of 2/3. So what we're going to model first is the 2/3 group of sugar. So I suggest you take your marker and let's just draw a circle, draw a pie. And let's split that pie into thirds. because 2/3 of that is going to be sugar. So let's shade in with our pencil the 2/3. I find it very challenging to color with my mouse and a computer screen. Okay, so I've just modeled 2/3. But how many of these do I need? This is 1. How many groups of that do I need? My 2/3 cup of sugar, I have to do it 8 times. So why don't you pause your video, draw your 8 pies, and shade in with your pencil 2/3 on each pie. So pause your video, and I will do the same. Okay, yours probably looks a lot better than mine, but here are my 8 groups of 2/3. So how much sugar will she use? Well, we're going to count what's shaded. So if we count, I can see I have 1, 2 here, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18. I have 18, but that's not 18 wholes. What is that? That's 18 thirds. So she needs 18/3 cup of sugar. Well, we can't leave this like that. It's hard to imagine what 18/3 look like. So we need to convert this into a mixed number. And we learned last week or the week before that this line right here means we can divide. So we're going to take 18, divide it by 3. It goes in there 6 times. So we need an equivalent of 6 cups of sugar. Okay, I just realized that I made a mistake. There's actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, isn't it nice that even your teacher makes mistakes? Okay, so I'm going to erase all this, just like you're going to have to do if I messed you up. And I got 16/3, not 18/3. Divide that by 3. It goes in there 5 times, so I get to make 5 wholes, but I have 1/3 left over. 5 1/3. 5 1/3 cup sugar. Okay? Now you might need a couple pages in your journal for today, and that's just fine. Not a big deal. Mr. Dunlap baked 15 pies for our class. We ate 3/5 of them. How many of the pies did we eat, and how many are left over? All right, let's think about our whole question. We have 15 pies, and we ate 3/5 of them. Okay, look at this. We have a fraction with the word of that comes right after it. 3/5 of them. So we need to figure out what 3/5 of them, well, what's them talking about? The pies, right? So we need to figure out 3/5 of 15. And remember, I told you this word of means multiply. So we're looking for what 3/5 times 15 is. And we're just modeling today. So the first thing that we need to do is draw our pies. We need 15 pies. So 1, you don't have to draw these very big because we're just drawing the pies. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm drawing 15 of them. You do the same. Okay, so I have my 15 pies. Now I need 3/5 of those pies. So that means that my whole, which is all of the pies, is going to be divided into 5 groups. So let's see. I'm going to do it this way. 1, 2, there's 3 groups, 4 groups, and then 5 groups. And we ate 3/5 of those. So we ate 1, 2, 3. We ate all of these here. So how many did we eat? 9. 9 whole pies. 3/5 times 15 is 9. Well, how many are left over? These 2/5 right here would be left over. So there would be 6 left over. So I'm going to write this out as a multiplication problem here. 3/5 times 15 equals 9. 15 is a whole number, and to write it as a fraction, I'm just going to put it over 1. 15 wholes. That's what that is, 15 wholes. And so you can kind of see maybe where this is leading us to. 3 times 15. Let me scoot my 9 over. Now this I'm just showing you. Tomorrow is actually like where we're going to be really looking at how to do it with numbers. Okay, we said it equals 9. Multiplication, you multiply straight across. 3 times 15 is 45. 5 times 1 is 5. Does that equal 9? Yeah, when we divide 45 by 5, we get 9. So this little precursor to tomorrow and what we're going to be looking at with multiplication. Today we're going to be sticking more of the pictures. All right, let's draw another one. After trick-or-treating, Juan counted his candy. He collected 25 pieces of candy and noticed that 2/5 of the candy was chocolate. How many pieces of Juan's candy were chocolate? So let's take a look at what we have. We have 25 pieces of candy, and we need to figure out how many 2/5 of the candy is. 2/5 of that. So we're looking for 2/5 of 25. Remember, I told you that that word of means multiply, so we're actually multiplying here, but we're going to model it. So we're modeling 25 pieces of candy. I'm going to draw like little rectangles, so they're like those mini Hershey bars, because you know Mrs. Ogden loves chocolate. 3, 4, 5. How many of these do I have to draw? 25 of them. So you pause the video, you draw your 25. I'm going to pause the video and draw mine. 25 pieces of chocolate. Okay, now I've got to divide it into groups of 5. So I'm going to take the whole 25 and I'm going to split it into groups of 5. I think I can do it like this. And I want 2/5 of that. So here's 1/5 and here's 2/5. So how many pieces were chocolate? 10. 10 pieces of chocolate. Okay, let's do another. The elf owl's maximum height is 14 inches. If it grows 5/7 of its maximum height in 1 year, how many inches will it have grown in that year? So let's look about what we're talking about. 14 inches, and we need to know what 5/7 of its maximum height is. So there's a fraction with that word of after it, so it means that we're multiplying 5/7 of 14. And remember, that word of means multiply. Okay, I'm going to draw the 14 inches, and you could pretty much just do whatever you want. I'm going to do 14 X's. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 7 is 14. Okay, so I've got to divide it into 7 pieces. So I'm going to put 2 in each group. And I need 5 of those. So that's this one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these are the inches that I need. Well, I have 5 and there's 2 in each group, so I know that's 10. 10. Let's just write this as a multiplication problem, see if we can kind of figure it out and jump ahead a little bit. We know that it equals 10. Okay, let's write 14 as a whole number. 14 wholes. And then let's multiply straight across, just like this. Well, 7 times 1 is easier, so I'm going to do it first. Okay, 5 times 14. Well, if you don't know that off the top of your head, write you a little problem out. 14 times 5 is 70. This is an improper fraction. This line means divide. 70 divided by 7, does that equal 10? Yes, and that's what our model showed. Okay, we're going to do one more. Model. Each day, Kara drinks 1/8 quart orange juice. How much juice does Kara drink in 6 days? Now, we want to model this one a little bit differently. And the reason why I want to model it like this is because I want you to just be able to see it on a number line, because you're going to see a couple of problems like that on maybe a test. And I know you will on your assignment today. So let's make a number line. Of course, this is always 0, and this is always my whole. And we are talking about an 1/8 quart of orange juice, and she's going to do it in 6 days. So we know that's multiplication, right? An 1/8, and she does it 6 times. So I'm going to divide my number line into 8ths. I'm going to split it down the middle. Half of 8 is 4, so I need 4 sections. 1, 2, 3. That makes me 4 sections. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is 0/8. This is 1/8. This is 2/8. 3/8. You pause the video and finish numbering your number line. Okay, I've numbered my number line. Now, my multiplication problem is 1/8 times 6. So that means I have 6 groups, 6 times. So I'm going to go 1. So 1 times 1/8 is 1/8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my answer is 6/8. Okay, I'm going to take that problem down here, and I'm just going to show you a little something. 1/8 times 6 equals 6/8. Let's write this whole number 6 as a fraction. 6 wholes. 6 over 1. Now let's multiply straight across. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 times 1 is 8. Multiplication. Let's simplify this. Look at that. Those are both even numbers. That means I can do what? I can simplify by dividing them both by 2. What I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So my final answer is 3/4. Okay, so today you're going to be doing your worksheet in your packet titled Modeling Fraction Multiplication. So you can go ahead and get started. What you don't finish in class today, you will need to finish at home.